Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to Turkish series stars. Take a breath, because today we're diving into a swirl of whispers, sightings, and digital breadcrumbs that have the entire fandom holding its breath. If you've been watching the romance and career arcs that keep the spotlight burning in Istanbul's glittering entertainment scene, you already know the names that have the timeline racing: Alina and Alp Navruz. The newest chatter suggests a turning point that feels both surprising and strangely inevitable, the kind of shift that makes you replay every photo, every post, every glance, looking for what was hiding in plain sight. Before we unravel the thread, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on, so you never miss a beat here at Turkish series stars. Now, let's talk about the current buzz, because the hints have piled up in such a way that it's hard not to connect them. We're not announcing confirmations, we're following the trail the way true fans do, joining the dots between what's public and what might be quietly developing behind velvet ropes and studio gates. And when the names at the center are Alina and Alp, every small gesture turns into a headline in waiting. For a little context, both of them have built careers that command attention. Alina, who charmed and challenged audiences in Ask 101 and brought a grounded intensity to Murasli, has always blended sophistication with a distinctly modern edge. Alp, with his heart-on-sleeve charisma in Ada Masali and the rugged depth he carried into Yürek Sıkmazi, moves easily from romantic leads to layered drama. Their paths have crossed in the industry corridors for years, but lately, the pattern feels different, more purposeful, more charged. It's the same rhythm of rumor we've seen before in this business, but the tempo here is unusually persuasive. Let's start with the sightings. Several images have circulated, some quick phone snaps taken by fans, others the familiar grain of a long lens by a patient photographer, placing Alina and Alp within the same orbit more than once over the last few weeks. Not hidden rendezvous in out-of-the-way corners, but deliberate-seeming overlaps in very visible spaces. A film premiere with staggered arrivals that still felt coordinated. A charity gala where cameras caught them in the same frame, separated by a conversational breath, the lighting warm and their smiles warmer. Then came a private brand dinner with a guest list that reads like a who's who of TV royalty. Phones were politely put away, but a few artfully captioned photos later revealed matching interiors and synchronized timelines. Coincidence? Maybe. But as fans know, timing is a story's first clue. Then there's the social media dance. Those who have mastered the language of likes and captions know that silence can speak and a single word can roar. Alina's sunlit post from a seaside afternoon, all amber glow and soft reflection, liked by Alp almost as soon as it went up. Alp's behind-the-scenes snap from a rehearsal room, guitar in frame, captioned with one of those wistful lines he favors. Endorsed by Alina with a discreet heart and a wink of approval in the comments. Nothing explicit, nothing press release obvious, yet enough to send timelines spiraling. When those interactions started recurring, subtle and steady, it stopped feeling like random courtesy and started looking like a pattern. Industry murmurs have only fed the fire. A casting director's offhand remark about a dream pairing for an upcoming drama that needs two performers who can carry intimacy with restraint. An assistant costume designer hinting that mood boards are already in the works for a stylish, contemporary story set between Istanbul's modern architecture and the old city's stone passages. Add to that a producer known for high-profile romantic series reportedly in talks with both teams. No one will go on record, no one ever does at this stage. But when rumors align from different corners, you can't help but listen a little closer. What makes this moment so tantalizing is the possibility that the shift is both personal and professional. Imagine Alina and Alp sharing a set, carrying a story that leans into their natural charisma and the contrast that makes them sparkle, her cool poise paired with his earnest warmth. The chemistry they each bring to screen could meet and expand in a way that feels inevitable, the kind of pairing that turns a good script into appointment viewing. Fans are already crafting scenarios. Long takes heavy with subtext, late-night shoots under street lamps, the sort of behind-the-scenes laughter that turns into outtakes we replay 1,000 times. There are other signs of transition, too, the kind that open doors to new chapters. Alina has been curating her choices carefully, leaning into roles that showcase restraint and steel beneath elegance. Alp has been selective as well, stepping into characters that let him soften and then suddenly harden, a quiet turbulence that looks great under close-up. Both seem to be in that rare sweet spot, professionally confident, personally private, and open to what comes next. In this business, timing is everything, and sometimes timing is the story. And consider the way they navigate attention. Neither is a stranger to rumor cycles, and both have learned when to embrace the camera and when to simply let a moment drift by unclaimed. That calm in the face of curiosity only deepens the intrigue. If something is growing between them, be it a collaboration, a friendship stepping across a line, or both, they've been careful to let it breathe beyond the noise. That discretion feels like the hallmark of something that might be real. Let's not forget the possible project at the heart of so many whispers. The Word is a limited series with a romantic spine and a dramatic pulse, something glossy but emotionally grounded. Interiors polished to a reflective sheen, exteriors caught in that unique Istanbul light, wardrobe that tells a love story through color and texture. If Alina and Alp are the anchors, expectations would be sky-high from day one, the sort of launch that trends before a frame is shot. The casting chemistry read, if it has already happened, would be the most coveted 15 minutes in town. In parallel, the personal moments loom large in the imagination. The after-party where they shared a quiet corner as music softened in the small hours. The gallery opening where someone swears they stood side by side longer than a casual hello would require. The anecdote, passed along like a secret, that they laughed over an inside joke they didn't bother to explain. Are these details conclusive? No. Do they paint a picture? Absolutely. Of course, speculation is the currency here, and we must say it plainly, there is no official confirmation. We are mapping a constellation of small stars and noticing a shape that looks like a story. The ethical line matters, and neither of them owes the world a declaration. But when you love television and the people who make it, you learn to read the soft signs, to sense when momentum builds even before anyone says a word. And the momentum around Alina and Alp is undeniable. Fans, as always, are the detectives and the dreamers. They're clipping photos, comparing timestamps, decoding captions, and doing it all with a mix of wonder and impatience. Edits set to aching love songs are already circulating, splicing together scenes where Alina's gaze lingers and Alp's smile breaks open. Threads catalog every parallel outfit, every matching location tag, every friend in common who appears on both feeds within the same weekend. It's obsessive, sure, but it's also the way admiration takes shape in a digital era that turns everyone into a curator of moments. The press has taken notice in a way that still feels respectful, as if the story might be something fragile that needs care to bloom. That's rare, and it speaks to how beloved both of them are. They're not merely headline magnets, they're artists whose work continues to gather people in, even as the off-screen narrative hints at something more. If this new direction is real, it could reshape the conversation around both of their careers, individually strong, potentially incandescent together. Let's imagine the near future. A joint interview where they sit side by side, exchanging the kind of glances that say everything without spelling it out. A first table read in a sunlit studio, pages rustling, pens tapping, a director smiling because the lines don't just land, they lift. A red carpet where the flashbulbs build a rhythm and the questions come fast, and they answer with humor and grace, giving just enough, holding the rest close. And after all that, maybe a quiet night, a drive through the city, windows down, music low, the sort of silence that exists only when two people feel understood. Now, stand back from the romance for a moment and look at the strategy. If there is a project, it would be a masterstroke of timing, pairing two performers at the height of their appeal. If there is a relationship, it would be a tale of two people who know the stakes of public life and choose tenderness anyway. If there is both, then we might be watching a rare alignment, the kind that becomes a reference point for years to come. The stakes are high, and the potential is dazzling. We also have to say this: in a world that often mistakes visibility for truth, it's okay not to know. It's okay to watch and wait, to let the story reveal itself at the pace of real life. What's certain is the energy around Alina and Alp right now, an electricity you can almost feel through the screen. Whether it's the hum of a pending collaboration or the heartbeat of something more intimate, the current is there. So where does that leave us tonight? With a cascade of signs we can't ignore, a wave of fan enthusiasm that keeps building, and two artists whose paths are closer than coincidence would reasonably allow. A renewed connection? A professional convergence? Maybe both. Whatever it is, it's moving, and it's moving in a direction that feels exciting, hopeful, and full of possibility. As always, we'll keep our eyes open and our updates ready here at Turkish Series Stars, following the trail with care, respect, and a little bit of that wonder that keeps us all hooked on these stories. Now tell us what you think. Did you catch a clue we missed? Do you read their recent posts the way we do, with the subtext loud enough to hear? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This conversation isn't complete without you. If this deep dive kept you company tonight, hit like, share it with the friend who screenshots everything, and subscribe so you're front row when the next piece falls into place. Whether it turns into a press release, a premiere date, or a moment that slips softly into the rumor mill, we'll be here, ready to trace the outline until the picture becomes clear. Until then, take a breath, keep your notifications on, and remember, some stories begin long before anyone admits they've started. And the best ones are worth the wait.